As we inch ever closer to the end of the Season of the Undying and the start of something new, we're beginning to learn a bit more about how the Sandbox is going to be changing. We're going to be greeting 2 brand new community managers with a promise of even more to come, and we're going to be finishing up the ongoing Halloween event, Festival of the Lost. What's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and today is Thursday, November 14th. You know what that means. It's time for another issue of the Bungie Weekly Blog, This Week at Bungie. And this week, we are learning about some pretty big changes coming to a few fan favorites, shall we say. Before we get on into all of that, of course, Festival of the Lost is coming to a close next week. November 19th, 2019, that event is going to be going away. So if you've yet to get your hands on the Braytech Werewolf, all of the masks or triumphs tied in with that event, or if you want to get a few more games in on Momentum Control, you've got until Tuesday to get that stuff done. Momentum Control in particular is going to be something that I really miss when it's gone. So I'm certainly going to be spending a few hours in there grinding out some more scout rifle kills before it goes away. Additionally, if you still want a chance at the special fashion emblem, the Levante prize, you can still turn in some last-minute submissions for that over on the creations page on Bungie.net. And even here in the TWAB, we get some awesome submissions that are definitely worthy of praise. Anyways, moving on from there, we've got 2 new global community managers from Bungie coming in. A new French community manager in Epionzilla, which I can only hope is a Gundam Wing reference. And Maurice Zerjav is going to be taking care of the German-speaking community. Hopefully I said those names right, but I want to issue them a warm welcome to the community team at Bungie. Hopefully they're ready to start fielding those Thundercoil complaints in multiple languages. Make sure you go give them a follow on Twitter and say hi, and that it's great to have them on board. But speaking of community, our resident hero DMG04 is holding a bit of a community thing. He's asking members of the community to share the most memorable moments of Destiny, to essentially tell Bungie your story. Now, this isn't necessarily a contest or anything, it's just kind of a way to see some of the experiences, the history, the stories of the Guardians out there in the community. And if you're interested in telling your Guardian story, you can do so over on Bungie's official forums or on a special Reddit thread that Dylan posted. I'll have links to both of that down in the description box below. Choose where you leave your story wisely, though. The Bungie forums can be a little bit salty. But anyways, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the meat of this week's TWAB. Sandbox changes. Specifically, major changes coming to stuff like the Recluse, One-Eyed Mask, and even the Xenophage exotic LMG. And yeah, for those out there who have been screaming to the heavens, we've got some nerfs to talk about. First on our list is the Crucible Pinnacle submachine gun, the Recluse. They've made a major change to the way Master of Arms is going to work in coming seasons. Here's what they've done. They've removed the precision damage modifier. Recluse will continue to receive a damage bonus from Master of Arms, which activates whenever you get a kill, with any weapon, the Recluse or any other weapon you've got equipped, but the damage will not default to precision values when the perk activates. And they go on to state that although the precision damage modifier did not actually improve the efficacy of the weapon at its best, it did allow for fairly mindless spraying to be just as good as concentrated aiming. Basically, what they're doing here, Master of Arms is for the most part going to work the same. You get a kill with the Recluse or any other gun that you've got equipped, Master of Arms is going to go live for 5 seconds, and in that 5 seconds, Recluse is going to deal enhanced damage. Now, what it did before is it basically made your outgoing damage not only do more, but you also basically did precision damage on body shots with the Recluse. That's what's going to be changing here. If I'm understanding this right, it's basically making it so that the gun is still going to get bonus damage, but it's not going to be that high precision modifier bonus damage that it gets in the game right now. So essentially, you're no longer going to be able to just get a kill, activate Master of Arms, and then spray enemies down with that precision damage. You're actually going to have to aim for the head now. And to be perfectly honest, if I'm understanding this change right, I actually don't have too much of a problem with that. I have been dreading the coming Recluse change for a long time. I spoke about this quite a bit on the podcast. Recluse, in my opinion, is unequivocally the best overall gun in the game. It's so powerful, it's got so much utility in both PvE and PvP, and I was terrified of what Bungie was going to do to the Master of Arms perk. Thankfully, it looks like they're taking an even-handed approach with the nerf here, rather than destroying Master of Arms by maybe cutting down its activation method or lowering the actual amount of time you have with it. They're just making it so that while you still get that bonus damage. That extra precision damage modifier you get on body shots is going to be gone. So if you want to continue to see those yellow numbers, you're actually going to have to aim for the head. Not a bad change if you were to ask me. Certainly better than the slapdown that guns like the Redrix's Claymore and the Breakneck got. Both weapons that I hope see buffs in the near future. But that's not where this nerf train is stopping, because if it's not the Recluse people are complaining about, it's certainly this next one. The exotic Titan helmet, the one-eyed mask. A lot of you Guardians have been waiting to hear about this. Here's the changes they're making to the Vengeance perk. They've removed the overshield granted from defeating an opponent that inflicted damage upon you. They go on to state that in a previous Sandbox update, One-Eyed Mask received some tuning in how Vengeance was applied to Titans. Next season, this perk will continue to provide health regeneration when defeating an opponent that has inflicted damage upon your Guardian, but will no longer grant an overshield. And there we go, another interesting change here. Not exactly the nerf I was expecting when it came to the One-Eyed Mask. One-Eyed Mask right now is so universally powerful. It's basically the best neutral game exotic a Titan can have. Being able to get that automatic health regeneration upon getting revenge kills plus an overshield on top of that was a little bit ridiculous. But then when you add in the fact that it also gives you wall hacks, this thing was just a little bit too strong. And honestly, I was expecting them to tone down the wall hacks that you get from One-Eyed Mask. You get to see people through walls for a pretty darn long period of time with this thing. So I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't tone back on that at all. But I think this change right here, just removing the overshield so people actually have a chance at taking you down once you've gotten a revenge kill against someone who dared damage you, I think that's perfectly fine. It means the One-Eyed Mask is still going to be an extremely powerful neutral exotic out there. You're still going to get your wall hacks. You're still going to get your health regen. And as I understand it, you're still going to get that damage bonus whenever you take out enemies who dared to harm you. Overall, I think this is another pretty even-handed nerf for an exotic that was causing a lot of headaches in the Crucible right now. Looking forward to seeing how that's going to change up the game when next season starts. Now, that's enough with the nerfs. Let's talk about some things that need some buffs. In particular, the Xenophage exotic, well, if you want to call it that, LMG. Thankfully, Bungie's heard our cries about this weapon, and they are going to be giving it a major buff next season. One, they've increased PvE damage by 50%. That's a massive damage increase. And the weapon will also be seeing increased ammo dropped from heavy crates in PvP modes. This is great stuff. They state that Xenophage unintentionally shipped a little weak, so it's getting a bump in its raw damage, but that because machine guns have a higher ammo capacity than other weapons, they're generally supposed to have less DPS than other heavy options like Whisper of the Worm. I think I'm happy so long as Xenophage is gonna get the love it needs, and believe you me, it definitely needed some love in PvE. But there we go, Guardians, that's a preview of some of the Sandbox changes that are going to be coming along with Season 9. Overall, I think we came out of the One-Eyed Nerf and Recluse Nerf not looking too bad. I thought they were going to destroy those things way harder than this. So I'm glad that both of those items are still going to have some serious utility in the game moving forward. But alright, Guardians, that's pretty much it for the biggest bits of news to drop in this week's issue of the Bungie Weekly blog, This Week at Bungie. Now, it is worth noting that alongside the end of Festival of the Lost next week, Google Stadia is launching. So if you're interested in that platform, Destiny 2 is going to be available on it, and cross-save will be working. So if you haven't yet, get your accounts linked up on Bungie's website, and get prepped for Stadia to go live. Additionally, in the next few weeks, we're going to have some more Sandbox patch note previews, as well as a few quality of life changes to things like escalation protocol armor, bug fixes, and even more. Can't wait to hear what they're going to be doing with the escalation protocol stuff. I'm dying for a year 3 version of that stuff. But alright, Guardians, that's it for the news, and those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. And of course, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But I'm out for now. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.